Welcome to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Let's Talk Cars Radio is sponsored in part by Napa Car Care Centers, BDG Auto Group, by Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmissions, Advanced Technology Institute, and American Do-It-Yourself Garage. Be a part of the program today by calling 757-222-3705. You may text your comments and questions during the show at 757-866-2192. That's 757-866-2192. Email your questions and comments to Dave at letstalkcarsradio.com. Now, here is the host of Let's Talk Cars Radio, Dave Palash.
Happy Saturday, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Big Davey P, hanging out with Rockin' Larry Cobb, and of course, Cameron's doing all our technical work for us. So it's been a pretty interesting week this week. I've gotten a lot of different messages. People ask me what's going on because they've been kind of checking out my personal page. I have not posted anything on the actual Let's Talk Cars page. But to answer your guys' questions, to kind of jump right into it, yes, work has continued on the Mega Garage. I know people have been asking me what's been going on. We haven't talked about it a little bit. The biggest reason why we really haven't got into it, guys, is I've been sick and I haven't been feeling well, and you guys know how that goes. If you guys follow along with the show or you guys follow along with the page, you guys know that I'm always not in the best of health, and that affects a lot of things when it goes on with the show sometimes. So we managed to kind of whittle our way through it, I guess is the best way to put it. And we managed to get a show out there, for you guys every Saturday. But we navigate through my health quite a bit sometimes. So we make it happen, though.
Oh, and well, Facebook always loves challenging us,
Yeah, it definitely does. So, but so work is going on in the Mega Garage. If you guys don't know what's going on with that project, kind of bring you guys up to speed, we decided to go ahead and do a big Mega Garage in conjunction with the show. And we'll start doing eventually, when everything's all said and done, we'll probably have the YouTube channel up where we will do things inside the Mega Garage as well that you guys can follow along on. So look for that as soon as everything's going. But yeah, it is coming along. I will get some pictures up and stuff for you guys so you can kind of follow along as the project goes on. And then we'll do a backstory, kind of like a history thing of how we got there from where we are, where we started to where we are now, and how that all came about. So it'll actually be kind of something cool that you guys can follow along on our page on YouTube once we get it all set up. So like I said, look forward to that. But yeah, bear with me. Like I said, sometimes I feel good, sometimes I don't. A lot of times more I don't feel good than I do. So it's just, hey, people have medical issues, and unfortunately I live with them, and they kind of dictate what we do and what we don't do sometimes. So.
Take comfort in the fact that at least you still look good.
Yeah, thanks, man. I drink a lot of water. It makes my skin look good.
Well, if anybody else was looking at your personal page, they would have seen the transmission, or not the transmission, but the Trans Am, and then they would have saw my comment.
Okay, so
I saw that Trans Am. First time I ever saw it out of that garage.
Really?
Yes.
Well, somebody
She's
was
pretty.
like, "Oh, can I drive it? I'll drive first." And he was like, "Oh, well, I haven't dropped the engine yet." So I posted the GIF of somebody kicking the car after looking under the hood and seeing there's no engine in it.
Well, so here's the deal. So I'll tell you how that came about, and if I'll get that picture up too on our page as well, guys, so you guys can see it. So work was being done inside the garage, and so here's the thing. Maybe I don't know if this goes for people who have nice collector cars and stuff like that. If it goes for all the cars, but I just thought this was just a known thing. Okay.
Don't touch somebody else's car?
Well, okay, so yes. Bingo.
Oh, did I really nail it?
Yeah, you did nail it, but it goes a little bit further than that, okay? I've always known that you don't lean on people's cars. You don't really touch people's cars. You sure enough don't try to sit on people's cars. That's just a known thing, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a collector car or any car, right? Maybe?
No, that's a known thing.
Yeah, don't take your keys out and drag them across the door, things like that. You just don't.
Oh, you had to go there, did you?
Wow. I see. It's funny you went there because I literally almost posted the comment of, well, at least it's clean now and not scratched.
Yeah. Cameron's talking about, so the car got scratched about 7 or 8 years ago.
The Trans Am?
Yeah. So I thought we talked about this story on there. Maybe we didn't. I had the car. Okay, so this is my prized possession is what we're talking about, the Trans Am. I know there's been a couple pictures over the years posted of it, but not many. I keep this car under wrap, and the reason why is because it was my grandfather's car, and we've been going completely through the car and redoing the car, and hopefully, if everything goes all right, it'll be on the road this year. But it is a numbered car. It's number 17 of 19, and I'm really anal about the car, guys. So there's a lot of things I've been kind of going through and trying to make sure everything's perfect on the car. There has been a lot of changes to the car, so no, I'm not going 100% back to original with it, just because I want it to be a driver. But I'm keeping true to form on a lot of things. So fit and finish and things like that have been really important to me as far as dealing with the car. So anyway.
Let's not talk about the carpet either.
Yeah. So the car, like I said, I've been kind of going through everything with the car and trying to make sure everything's right on it and making it what I want. And, things will go together, and I think they're great. And then I'll stare at them for a couple weeks, and I'm like, I think that could be just a little better. And so, something I might have spent a week messing with comes back apart so it can go back together and look a little different. Like I said, I'm very anal. I want it to be right. I want everything to look good on it. And it's a lot of reading a lot of articles. Like I spent 2 hours last night reading nose tolerance clearances and stuff like that as far as all the gaps and all that kind of stuff because I was looking at the nose, and the front of the nose is back on the car. But it looks like one of the gaps on the front of the nose just doesn't look right to me. And maybe I'm just being too anal about it. I'm not sure. But I don't know. It looks like the tolerance between the nose and where the hood closes is off just a little bit. And so I was trying to do some research on that. That's the reason. That's the biggest reason, probably the reason why the car's not back together yet.
So I saw that comment. I didn't know what you were talking about, but now I do. Because I saw you say, well, I saw 2 things that I want to fix, and in my mind, I was like, oh, well, that car is going to be sitting for another 5 years.
No, it's not. It's not. I promise it won't. But anyway, they were working in the garage, so I'm sitting there, and I was doing some things weird. So I was going through the garage and organizing things. So in one of the pictures I'll post, you'll see that we built these hidden compartments in the mega garage where everything will hide behind these hidden compartments with barn doors. So everything inside the garage, my plan inside the garage is to have the floors all cleared. Everything all cleared out. So when the doors are open and you're working in there, you just have big clear bay floors, okay? So while they were working on that portion and getting that stuff all cleared away with the drywall and stuff like that, people kept leaning against the car. And I saw at one point in time, literally like a butt hunch, like they were going to butt hunch themselves up onto the car. And I about lost my mind. So that prompted me to the next day when I knew more work was going to be done there in the morning. I got up early in the morning and just decided to pull the car out of the garage and get the car completely out of the garage and out of the way.
If you would like to take a look at the car as a photo, not actually take a look, it is now on our Facebook page, and you can go look at it.
So, so that's how the car ended up outside. And then once the car was outside and hadn't been out in daylight in a while, I was like, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and wash some of the dust off it because it's been sitting for a while. So it got a bath yesterday and washed up. So it's still got, like I said, a lot of work I need to do to it and stuff. But to just give you a little back history on the car was bought out in Illinois. It's a one-owner car. My grandfather bought it, died, and the car's been in the family since then. And I'm the caretaker of the car. So
what year is it?
It's a 77. It's an Arliska edition. So you guys have all heard, if you're a car guy, like I said, if you listen to the show because you just enjoy the family side commentary of the show and stuff like that, if you know what Yanko is or don't know what Yanko used to, build custom cars. They took so many cars and made Yanko editions. So this was Arliska's edition. They made 19 Arliska edition Trans Ams. I own number 17 of it.
Did your grandfather get it new?
Brand new. Yep, brand new car.
Wow.
So
I'm the third car giver. Or car taker.
Yeah, he's trying to be in line to be the
next
third
in
one to
line.
take it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
that's what wheels are for.
I've gone completely through the car. Everything in the car essentially is original except for anything that I found. So when I finally took the car and got old enough to start going through the car and do anything with it, everything on the car was original, was untouched. The biggest issue with a car, like I try to tell you guys, make sure if you have a car you're not driving regularly needs to be turned over regularly, start it. It's bad for a car just to sit. Well, it sat, and it sat, and it sat. So I'm now paying the price for it sitting, everything being original on it. But when everything sits, even the stitching. So sat down in the seats, and the stitching started to pop because it was just so brittle. You know, the seat's beautiful, but the stitching just had become brittle from it just sitting, you know. So just going through everything and making sure everything's right has been just time-consuming in a process. I did source out old stock original stuff for anything that I needed to go back through and fix. So that's been good. But it's been time consuming trying to track down a lot of stuff for it and make things.
Did the car have air conditioning in it when your grandfather bought it?
Yes, it had AC in it. Yep. So
I know people back in that time frame that did not get air conditioning.
No, it had AC. Now the biggest problem I'm running into is we're doing a little bit different setup on the motor, so making AC fit back in it is going to be it's going to be a challenge. So because
look, we don't need a AC.
No, I definitely want AC because it's going to be a cruiser and I want to enjoy it and, you know, stuff like that. So I definitely want AC, but, you know, AC and
when you take it out on the desert, you know,
major horsepower, you want to make sure.
Well, they have those clip pieces that clip on the side of the window and they just aim at you. You know?
So that's the reason why people were sending me messages and stuff and said, you know, they saw, you know, there's a lot of people, you know, that follow our page and stuff like that. And then I have friends obviously who follow my personal page, and I just posted something on it on the personal page. I didn't put anything on the actual Let's Talk Car page. So
I'd like to see a shot of it from the front. All I saw was just the side.
Well, I have a front shot of it, but I don't have all the light buckets and everything in the front right there. I have them all pulled out right this second.
Doesn't matter.
So I'll send you a front shot of it.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how it looks from the front.
Yeah, it's nice, and it has.
Hey, and while you're doing that, take a shot from the rear.
It was funny,
too.
just so you know. So somebody said, "Oh, you got Craigers on there?" No, those are not Craigers. They are not Craiger wheels. Those are original Keystone Classics. They are not Craigers. And anybody who doesn't understand that, Keystone Classics were the upper class wheel. Everybody had Craigers.
Go down to Pep Boys, get you some of them Craigers.
Yeah, everybody had Craigers.
Yeah, I remember.
Very rarely do people have Keystone Classics. There's a difference between the two.
Well, that's because it costs more.
They did. You're absolutely right.
Substantial.
They were substantially different in price. You're right. So everybody's like, "Oh, Craigers." I'm like, "No, those are not Craigers."
Just take an old regular wheel and paint it with aluminum paint.
I've been toying back and forth with keeping the Keystone Classics on it. I like the look of it, but I need a deeper wheel for the horsepower in the back. So the only thing I could think of is taking the Keystone Classic and having somebody cut me a custom wheel that looks like that and a really deep offset for the rear. So
Captain Forness says, we need AC for my first ride. But
give her a fan.
But little does she know, she doesn't get the first ride first. I do.
Look, you all could go battle it out. I'm not. Yeah.
I'm going to battle it out.
I'm going to battle it out.
I get the first ride.
No, like I said, if the plan is everything goes all right, is hopefully the car will be done for this year's season. That is the plan. But there's still quite a bit to do, and like we're trying to get the garage done. And if everything goes all right, the garage will start seeing paint here shortly, so we'll get closer to having the garage done.
Done before Christmas.
Hey, no, it's got to be done for this season so we can enjoy it this season.
You mean
Don't
summer?
say done before
I'm
Christmas.
thinking like spring. Yeah, I'm hoping springtime.
Like the next 3 months is when I want it done. I need to ride now.
No, it's got. My push is to get the garage done and get the car done all at the same time.
Well, we don't have winter anymore, so what do you care?
We don't have winter anymore.
What's it out there now? 72?
Well, look, every time it's like this. Hold on. Before we go to commercial break, every time that the weather is like this,
it always snows.
We get dumped on end of February and March. So, it's probably going to be the same thing again.
Well, pay now or pay later.
Just know.
Right, you're right.
Just know next Monday I'll go back down to 32.
There you go. Hey, guys, I got to take a commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about my house car. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll fill you in. And I'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Something really cool happened in 1975. And no, it wasn't the beginning of the disco era. Congress passed the Magnuson-Moss Act, so you don't have to take your vehicle back to your dealer to keep your vehicle manufacturer's warranty in effect. Our Napa Auto Care Center uses the proper replacement parts and procedures to keep that warranty valid. Visit our independently owned Napa Auto Care Center today.
Hey guys, you asked for it and I delivered. Check out our all-star team of automotive specialists at NapaBDGHRVA.com. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Pillage from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cotman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons, Incorporated.
Hey guys, Dave Pillage from Let's Talk Cars Radio. Are you tired of your everyday job? Looking for something more? You have to go check out ATI at auto.edu. Advanced Technology Institute has a program for you. From accelerated schedules to assistance in helping students get into the career field fast. Guys, I understand how hard it is with the hassle of juggling life, work, kids. That's why ATI provides day and night classes to make things as easy for you to succeed. If you're ready for a change, give them a call today at 757-490-1241. That's 757-490-1241. Make ATI your choice for building today's minds and tomorrow's communities. ATI is certified by SHEV, the State Council of Higher Education for Virginia, to operate in Virginia. Talk to you soon.
Wish you could get your car in the air? We've got you covered. Don't have the tools for the job? Not a problem. Dream of having a garage equipped with everything you need to get the job done from start to finish? Well, dreams come true. At American Do-It-Yourself Garage, you'll find our friendly staff just waiting to lend you a hand in a safe and friendly environment. If you're looking for a place where you can do it all, from cars, trucks, and even motorcycles, your Do-It-Yourself Garage awaits. Call 1-844-462-3494 today or reserve your bay at AmericanDIYG.com. American Do-It-Yourself Garage. You can do it. We know you can. Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Pillage.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. Hey, and let's not forget about Richmond as well. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. So, house car. Know what I'm talking about?
No.
So I call it the house car.
You caught it.
I call it the house car. And there's a reason why I call it the house car, that it might make sense.
That's not this thing we were talking about, whether you sit in your living room, watch a little TV while the car takes you to your destination.
No.
Okay.
No, but that would be, I don't know if that'd be a good name for that too. House car is Rosie. We named it. Rosie is our new robot vacuum.
Oh, I know where you're going.
So, my wife wanted the new, we've talked about it, the cream of the crop, Mac Daddy, you name it, baddest or the coolest robot vacuums.
My wife wants one too.
So I bought it for her for Christmas, and I call it the house car because for what I had to pay for this thing, I could have 100% bought my next project vehicle. So Cameron's messing with the online. He's trying to keep everything going. Once again, online is always one of those creatures that eludes us and then doesn't elude us and then eludes us again. So you got it? You rolling? You good? Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I could have bought another project car for what we paid for it. So
yeah, but look how happy you made Dawn.
I got you. I love making my wife happy. So, but it could have been another project. That could have been in the beginning of the rat rod I want to build. Okay. But anyway, yeah, happy wife, happy life is what they say.
My wife hates that term, but I told her, I said, why do you hate it? It's true.
Ooh, I'm just going to call her at random tonight and just say it and hang up.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to call your wife tonight, just say it and hang up.
I said that around her once. I don't like that. And I said, why not? It's a true statement. If your wife is not happy, your life is not going to be happy.
I'm going to do that.
End of life.
That's going to be like my new thing, is just randomly call Paula and say it and hang up. And I got to block my number, though, because I always come up with caller ID. That's how she always knows it's me.
Star 67.
There you go. But anyway, so she takes this thing out and she programs this thing, right?
All right.
And it goes and does its little thing. It's got to learn your house and all kinds of stuff. Well, people, this thing became self-aware at like 3:45 in the morning. We're in bed, and she puts it away, and for some reason, all of a sudden, it decides it wants to come alive and do its thing at 3:45 in the morning. The funny thing about it is our youngest son, sends me a text message at like 3:48. Are you guys vacuuming? I guess he heard a vacuum.
Did it wake him up?
Well, yeah, apparently it did. I guess it tried to go in his room, and it was trying to open his door, and it scared him. And he thought,
"Who dat?"
He sent us a message like, "Asked us if we were vacuuming at 3:48 in the morning." So this is my little house car because I guess since I'm so into cars, I got to have a house car too.
I'd like to put a camera on it and then watch it tomorrow to see where it went.
I know where it is. It tells me on the phone. Well, it tells her on the phone. A
GoPro for your Roomba.
Oh, yeah. Here's the thing. So Don was telling me this thing has a camera that reports back to people and shows it where it's gone in your house. And I was like, well, that seems a little scary.
Well, then you don't need that. I didn't know that.
What if you're walking through your house naked?
Depends on who's going to see it.
Right, but you know what I mean? If it's looking at everything inside your house, what if you walk through your house naked?
Well, turn that option off.
No. It sends you back a message and it's like, you need a razor. I don't know. It's a little strange.
Wow.
You start getting like these apps on your phone for like going to like, wax places and stuff.
There's apps for everything. Change the color of your light bulbs.
Can I suggest a Brazilian wax to you? You know what I mean? I couldn't resist.
You're gonna get it when you get home. I, on the other hand, won't get it
at all.
No.
Oh, all right. Moving on. Moving on. So here's the thing. You guys know, right this second, we probably shouldn't be talking about this because it's warm outside. But it's going to get cold again, okay? And people...
It might.
It might. I think it will get cold again, trust me. It always does every year. We go through this. It seems like you and I have this argument every year.
It never hits 30 in July.
I'm telling you, you and I have this argument every year. It's warm outside, and you're like, we probably won't get cold again. All of a sudden, it gets cold again, and I'm right. So we'll make it the same year all over again.
I think the Almanac was calling for this to be a frigid winter with lots of snow.
Yes.
Well, they've missed it so far.
No, I think we're still going to get it.
Okay.
You want to put a wager on it? Dinner. How about a dinner wager?
All right.
Yeah. All right. You guys heard it. You got a dinner wager on it. I think we're still going to see snow.
Okay. Well,
If we see snow,
I think we're not.
okay.
You don't think we're going to see snow?
Okay, hold on. Shh, you stay out of it. Stay
no,
out of
I
it.
want to put a bet on this too because I can.
Hold on.
I'll
Let
name.
me finish my bet first.
He's looking on a cheat.
Hold on.
A cheat sheet.
So the bet
weather
is
forecast.
so the bet is dinner. We go if you win, I'll take you to a steak dinner. If I win, you take me to a steak dinner.
All right.
All right.
Can I join in on the steak dinner?
Now you can figure out your own bet. I got my bet in.
Let's just
I'll
say
have to take my
I
wife
know.
That's fine. We'll take the wives. That's fine.
Okay.
I say we'll say that we'll have snow in March because we always do.
You got to figure out your own bet. I got mine in place.
I say we are not going to get snow between now and the first day of spring,
Well, what do you call it? What's the first day of spring?
March 21st.
Oh, we're getting snow.
We're getting snow.
We're getting snow.
I'll call it March 2nd. We get snow by then.
Okay, so all right, so the bet's in. Okay, so we get off track so easily. Anyway, back to it. So the problem with it is people are not thinking about getting their car up to temperature. I'm getting a lot of messages and emails and stuff like that. People are having car problems, and they're not letting the car actually sit and come up to temperature. They're just jumping in their car and they're just driving with the car cold, and it's causing issues. You guys know that can cause engine problems. And a lot of people don't realize that. It's really not good for your car to just jump in your car and drive it cold.
I've heard it both ways, so I don't know which way to go.
So you go both ways?
No, I usually start it up, jump in, and go.
you really shouldn't.
Hey, my car is garage parked, so doesn't that help it a little bit?
It does. It does. That's a little different.
It's
It
not
does
like
help it a little bit, but you really, even with garage kept, because it's still cold in your garage. I've been in your garage when it's still cold outside. And it's still cold in your garage.
Well, it's cool in there, but it's the whole thing is I when I start my car, I probably let it sit 30 seconds and then I go. But I don't sit there and wait for the temperature to register normal.
You should really let the temperature come up. In fact, Cameron just learned that as well. Well, he didn't. He's always known that.
Well, what happened to make him learn it?
But getting out of the habit of doing it, and he's usually in the habit because I know, in the past when they were a little younger, they would fire their cars up and let their cars come up to temperature before they went down the driveway. Yeah.
Did you just pay a price for that?
No, but my friend did.
He went and picked up a car for a friend.
Yeah, I went and picked up a car for a friend. We went together, looked at this car. Everything checked out perfectly normal. We started the car. No coolant was leaking or anything. But once we got on the highway, that's when it started overheating. And it started to, leak coolant and everything like that. And it's because I didn't check everything. So.
If he left, and like I told him, I said, had you guys sat and let the car come up to temperature,
we would have known. They
would have known instantly, and they didn't. They fired it up. Oh, looks good, and then took it down the road. And as soon as it got up to temperature, boom, that was it. It showed all its problems. And I don't really try to scold my kids or anything like that because they're grown men now. I mean, there's no and it's not really a scolding. It's just dads have a way of scold and education. It's kind of mixed in there. You know what I mean? And I realize I have a habit of doing that, and I don't ever mean to do that to my kids. But I've realized as I'm getting a little bit older, and you self-evaluate yourself as you get older, that you realize that's kind of how you talk to your kids sometimes without meaning to.
That's true. I was guilty,
and so I've picked that up in my voice a little bit when I'm talking to my kids. I don't mean to come off that way, but I think that's the way I come off a little bit sometimes. And I just said, hey, I've taught you better, and had you followed the practices that I've taught you that I know you've done in the past, because I can remember when I used to go to school, I'd hear the cars warming up in the driveway. I said, then you would have saved yourself a whole lot, because it required them to get a tow. They had to spend money on a tow. They would not have had the car towed.
So then you're all for having a remote start. So you can start it while you're in the house on a cold winter morning and let it warm up.
And Cameron's got a little shout out on that tow, I'm sure. Little shout out. So a little thank you for the tow.
Thank you for Quality Towing. They actually did really hook me up and come and get my car.
Yeah, I like to say thank you to Doug and them. If you guys are always looking for a tow company, Quality Towing is a great tow company. They do a lot of towing here in the area. They take care of you. They won't tear your car up. Real good company. So thank you, Quality, for taking care of us and getting that knocked out for us.
The way that conversation went was, hey, man, do you know any tow companies? First one that clicked in my head was, yeah, Quality. They do all my work for me.
Yeah. It's one of those things. They're a family company. We've been using them for it's got to be forever.
I'm going to go say they've been around forever. I think.
Yeah. Well, Doug is the owner, real good guy, and Mary runs everything down there for them too, and stuff like that. So, and I've been using them forever, and I swear by them. They've moved all kinds of things for me for over the years, not just cars, but equipment and you name it. So. But, real good company. And it's good, when you got a tow company that you can call right on demand and just tell them, hey, and that you can send them out and take care of your kids or your kids' friends or, fan, whatever, and you're not going to have to worry about it. That means something, you know what I mean? It really does.
Peace of mind.
Yeah, it was. You know what I mean? So
it was very peace of mind, knowing that it wasn't even like a long conversation. I literally got on the phone. She was like, where are you? I said exactly where I was, and literally within 2 minutes, she was like, all right, we'll have a tow truck out there, and they'll meet you out there. I'm like, that's it? That's easy? Okay.
Yeah, I like quality. I like Art Walker, too. Art Walker's been around for a long time, too. It's hard to find good quality family companies nowadays. You know how I feel about using quality family companies. That's the reason why we have, Napa as our sponsor with all their family-owned garages as well. I love family-owned stuff. Hey, guys, on that note, I got to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get a little bit into it. How about tire kickers? We've talked about tire kickers before, but I'm going to give you just a little bit of hint if you're a tire kicker or may keep from a tire kicker. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about when I come back. Talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cotman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Are you ready for a change? Is this the year you go from just a job to a career? Well, ATI can help. Advanced Technology Institute offers degrees and diplomas in the in-demand fields with hands-on training of automotive technology, heavy vehicle technology, HVAC, commercial refrigeration, maritime welding, and commercial driving. ATI provides accelerated schedules to help students get into their career field fast. So why wait? Day and night classes are available. Job placement assistance from orientation to graduation. Go to auto.edu right now to find out more, or call 757-490-1241. That's 490-1241. What are you waiting for? ATI. Not just helping build the minds of tomorrow, but building your community every day. ATI is certified by SHEV, the State Council of Higher Education for Virginia, to operate in Virginia.
There's something special about Napa Auto Care Centers. They're backed by the national strength of Napa. Nationwide warranties honored by thousands of locations. You know that's Napa know-how. But more importantly, your Napa Auto Care Center is independently owned and operated by neighborhood professionals who operate by a written code of ethics. Put your vehicle in the hands of ASE-certified technicians who will greet you with a smile you can trust. Visit us today.
You heard me say it, and now here's your chance. Now's the time to go find your auto garage. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to NapaBDGHRVA.com and find your all-star car care center today. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon.
Do you currently live in an apartment or condo? Need to work on your car, truck, even motorcycle, but your homeowners association has you down? If your garage is full of broken dreams and the I'll get to it next week projects, American Do-It-Yourself Garage is the place for you. They offer fully equipped, well-lit garage bays with or without a vehicle lift for your needs. Each bay is fully equipped with a workbench, hand tools, air tools, laptop usage, even assistance with parts ordering, which is all included with each bay rental for a reasonable price. If you're looking for a place that feels like home, filled with fantastic staff willing to lend a hand, then give American Do-It-Yourself Garage a call today at 1-844-462-3494. That's 1-844-462-3494. Or go to their webpage and reserve your bay at AmericanDIYG.com. American Do-It-Yourself Garage. Let the friendship begin. Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating, and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons, Incorporated. Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. Hey, so if you didn't catch the first two segments, we'll go ahead and let you guys catch up in the other segments. What are you laughing at?
So if you guys are on Facebook, you would have seen Don Connery's comment of Rosie took a chunk out the wall. And I'm texting her right now. And David said, "How bad is it?" And she says, "Oh, I'm sure you can fix it."
Great.
We all know what that means.
Yeah. Look, here's the funny thing. So we get Rosie, right? And then the countdown to next Christmas is already on because now she already told me that Rosie needs a boyfriend.
Yeah, butler.
Yeah, which is the mop, the automatic mop.
Oh, I've been seeing those.
Yeah, so now she wants the mop. So the countdown to next Christmas is on for the mop.
Well, it looks like the people at iRobot would have integrated the two into one.
I don't know. But so next year we'll have Mac because we already have Rosie. So we'll have Mac. And if you guys don't understand the reference.
I don't.
So Rosie was the Jetsons' maid.
Yeah.
And Mac was Rosie's boyfriend.
I didn't know that she had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I must not have watched the show that far into it.
So,
or it's been too many decades since I've seen it.
If you guys have been paying attention to this show for the last 4 years or so, you'll realize there's a lot of Jetsons reference because it seems like everything is going to the Jetsons over and over again.
Yeah, in the opening scene, all those cars are
flying cars to the newspaper, the electronic newspaper, to everything. So, in Larry has the Jetsons ringtone on his phone that goes off every once in a while. So we reference the Jetsons all the time. So when we got the robot, I decided the good name for it would be Rosie. And then when she told me she wanted the mop, I was like, well, if we get the mop, it has to be named Mac because that was Rosie's boyfriend in the cartoon. So
how long did that last? I have no memory of that at all.
There was a couple. There's a couple episodes where Mac shows up in the Jetsons.
Yeah.
He was I think he was I don't remember what he did. What his operation was, but he was messed up. He was always broken or something like that. There was always some problem with him. So, yeah, Cameron's looking it up now. Anyway, so Cameron's trying to look it up. So tire kickers. So here's the thing. We've talked about tire kickers before. Here's one of the things that irritates me. So I finally sold 2 cars out of the fleet. And I always tell you guys, for the longest time we had a huge fleet of cars, in the family. And project cars and all kinds of stuff going on. Obviously, with having a car show, you're expected to have a bunch of cars, which makes content for the show. So we sold two of the cars out. Go ahead, Cameron.
So Mac was in charge of maintaining the SkyPad.
Oh, okay. So that's what Mac did. There you go. So I got rid of two of the cars out of the fleet finally, but it seems like tire kickers exist, and I hate. And let me tell you about a tire kicker. what I mean by that. I hate a tire kicker that comes, and what I call a tire kicker is a guy that comes, asks you a million questions, takes up hours of your time, and has no money in his pocket. Now, you can come kick tires all you want as long as you got money in your pocket. But I can't stand a guy that comes, wastes all my time, and has no money in his pocket. Is asking me a million questions, touches every button, kicks every single tire, has to test drive it, has to do all this different kind of crazy stuff, and then goes, well, let me go see what my bank says and see if they'll give me a loan. I'm pretty furious at that point in time. So that always irritates me. Or let me go ask my mom and see if they'll loan me the money, or my dad and see if they'll loan me the money, or
that's even worse.
Or I got $800 and let me see if I can get the rest of it from a family member, or a friend will loan it to me, or whatever it is. That's the worst kind of tire kicker.
I like the ones that I got $800. Will you take that for it?
Right, and the car's selling for $5,000.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, now I'll be the first one to tell you I have bought many, and I've told you guys this on the show many times. I bought many $8,000 cars for $5,000 because I've had money in my pocket. Now I've done that. There's nothing wrong with that, I guess, as far as I'm concerned. When I'm the buyer, you get it. When I'm the buyer,
yeah.
Well,
the old adage that money talks really.
Right.
Is
It
true.
does. It does. And I've sold a lot of cars where I've had the cars listed for, let's say, $4,000, and I've let them go for $29,000. I've sold it just to get rid of it. You know what I mean? Just like I'm done with it. I've had the car listed for a little while. I just want it to be gone. And I got, the profit margin works out. Let's just be done with it. I've done that.
Yeah.
It just depends on how bad I want to let it roll. So anyway, I let 2 go out of the fleet. Here's the thing I'm going to give you guys some advice, because it's happened to me selling and it happens to me with buying. Go make sure the car starts and runs before the person gets there. Rather you're the buyer or the seller. Because it happened to me both times on both of these cars. And I think just because it's really cold outside, it's the only reason why. Because this never happens to me. But it happened to me this time, so I figured I'd give you guys this advice. If you are selling a car, okay, and you know the person is coming out to come buy it, make sure you go out, put the key in the ignition, and make sure the car starts before they get there. Because you look very foolish sitting out there trying to get a car to start with the guy standing in the driveway when it's 34 degrees outside.
Or
go ahead.
Gotta say something. Or if the car is parked somewhere else that you usually don't stay at, make sure you bring jumper cables with you.
Yeah. If you have the car stored somewhere, you might want to make sure you bring all the equipment with you to start it if it does not start. Now, for me, so here's what happened to me. So we finally got rid of the souped-up Honda that we've been storing, that we couldn't figure out what we were going to do with it. So if you guys remember, we built the Honda. Nathaniel had it for a while. Really cool car. We had it as content for about the last year. We weren't really figuring out what we were going to do with it. If we were going to go overboard with it, maybe do a turbo on it, all different kinds of stuff. I finally decided to part ways with it. Just for the fact that the car just has way too many connections for us with it. As far as we've gone a long way on that car. We've done a lot of stuff to that car, and when it got in the last accident where it got rear-ended, the rear end could be fixed, the car could be done, but it's like, okay, how far do you go with the car? We already have so much money tied up in that car. For us to take it and go any further. And the reason why we were going to keep the car is, like I said, we're going to do the YouTube channel. So I figured that would be a cool car to kind of do something with the YouTube channel. But we already got about $9,000 tied up in that car. It started off as a 96 Honda. Did the 2000 conversion over to SI kit on it. Yep. And it's like, how much more money do you dump into this car? And, you'll never get the money back out of the car. So I made this decision to go ahead and part ways with it. It probably will still be running around here in the Hampton Roads area. And somebody's got themselves a really cool car, but at the same point in time, I really kind of want to do a rat rod, guys. I've been telling you guys that for a while. I don't know at what stage I want to do it, but I want to kind of do something like that. So we went and got rid of it. I go out there, the car starts before the kid comes. I get it all hooked up. The car fires up. It's 34 degrees on that day, so it fires up. I'm like, okay. I go back in the house. The kid comes about an hour and a half later. I go to fire up. The car will not start. Just won't start. I'm turning, and the battery's the battery's giving it what it has. But because the car has performance parts on it and stuff like that, it really needs to spin fast for that car to fire up. And the battery's kind of just doing a whoop, 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 but it really needs to do a really fast spin for for that car to spin over.
Especially if the exhaust isn't and everything.
Yeah. So it's got a racing exhaust on it, all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? So it really needs to spin fast. So the kid's just staring at me. You know what I mean? Like, what's the deal? And I'm like, this car runs great, trust me. But you know what I mean? But it's a hard sell at that kind of point.
Yeah, if you can't start it then.
Right. He's standing there staring at me. The car's spinning over, but it won't fire because I'm trying to explain to him, and he's a younger kid, so I'm trying to explain to him, like, look, trust me, this car does run. I was like, and it runs good. I was like, it's a great motor in this car. I'm like, but I need to get it to spin over quicker than it's spinning for it to fire up. And I said, it literally just fired up before.
And one of the other guys says, yeah, if you can get it started.
So Cameron faces the same thing.
So I faced the same thing
because it's cold outside.
As everybody knows, I am actually selling my dream car, Zoe, which is the 350Z, to go to my other dream car. And
you go?
As I go. And as the guy comes up, I start the car and everything. But once he comes, it was like 2 hours later, I go to turn the key over and it does not turn. And the guy's
I'm telling you, the car knows.
I think it does.
It's happened to everybody. The car knows.
It has to know.
It has some kind of conscience in there.
It's one of those things, guys. So my suggestion to you is make sure if you're selling a car, go out there, make sure it starts. Like I said, I did my due diligence and made sure they started. And as soon as they showed up, it would not fire up. I got them fired up. I went and got the charger out of the garage and hooked it up, put it on the quick boost, and they fired up. The Honda, by the way, would not start off the quick boost. It was so stubborn, I had to get the truck, hook the truck to it to get it to fire up because it did not want to start.
You know why I said the jumper cables thing?
Right.
Because I have that snap-on quick start box.
Wouldn't fire it over?
Plugged it up. I never knew that thing made a noise. Never knew that thing made a noise when it goes, oh, I don't want to start your car. All I hear is beep, 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 beep. I'm like, what? I go over and it's the box blinking saying it can't start.
Was it charged up?
It was fully charged. I keep my charger fully charged all the time.
Yeah, I bought them for them so they always had a way to start their car. But it just goes to show you, maybe the car does know. But yeah, if you want to keep from looking silly, make sure it starts. And I always tell you, don't let it sit there and run before somebody comes because they think that you're trying to hide something. So that's the reason why I don't let the car sit there and run before somebody shows up. On that note, I got to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, got a little bit more news for you. Talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA. Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons, Incorporated.
Are you ready for a change? Is this the year that you go from a job to a career? Well, ATI can help. Advanced Technology Institute offers degrees and diplomas in the in-demand field with hands-on training of automotive technology, heavy vehicle technology, HVAC commercial refrigeration, maritime welding, and commercial diving. ATI provides accelerated schedules to help students get into their career field fast. So why wait? Day and night classes are available, job placement assistance from orientation to graduation. Go to auto.edu right now to find out more. Or you can call 757-490-1241. That's 490-1241. What are you waiting for? ATI, not just helping build the minds of tomorrow, but building your community every day. ATI is certified by Chev, the State Council of Higher Education for Virginia, to operate in Virginia.
Wish you could get your car in the air? We've got you covered. Don't have the tools for the job? Not a problem. Dream of having a garage equipped with everything you need to get the job done from start to finish? Well, dreams come true. At American Do-It-Yourself Garage, you'll find our friendly staff just waiting to lend you a hand in a safe and friendly environment. If you're looking for a place where you can do it all, from cars, trucks, and even motorcycles, your Do-It-Yourself Garage awaits. Call 1-844-462-3494 today or reserve your bay at AmericanDIYG.com. American Do-It-Yourself Garage. You can do it. We know you can.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Well, here's a pound of prevention from your Napa Auto Care Center. We'll customize a preventive maintenance package for your vehicle that will save you time, money, and hassles now and down the road. We'll ask, do you drive mainly in the city or on the highway? Plan to keep your vehicle? How long? And more. Preventive maintenance is a good thing that prevents bad things. Build yours at your Napa Auto Care Center today.
Hey guys, Dave Pillotch from Let's Talk Cars Radio. Do you currently have a repair shop you trust? Haven't found the time to go to a garage for all your automotive needs? Check out the all-star team at Napa BDGHRVA.com. That's Napa BDGHRVA.com. Let them show you what it's like to work with the professionals and make a friend along the way. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Pillotch from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cotman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Pillotch.
Welcome back, guys. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. Hey, so I got a little flashback for you guys.
Haven't had one of those for a while.
We haven't had a flashback. It's been a little bit. Do you remember the conversation that we had?
Just can't leave it alone, can you?
You remember the conversation that we had a while back, and I was telling you about there's a certain limit that you're going to hit when it comes to some of these vehicles coming up on the auction block. And just because people's names are attached to them doesn't mean that they should go for outrageous amounts of money. I told you I wouldn't pay. I didn't care. Just because somebody's name's attached to it doesn't mean I'm going to pay millions of dollars for it, because it's still just a XYZ type of vehicle. It doesn't matter to me who drove it.
I would agree with that.
Do you remember whose name that I used? I told you that I personally wouldn't pay a bunch of money. Hold on, a bunch of money for it, because I think his time has come and gone a while ago. Do you remember who that was?
I remember you saying it, but I can't recall.
I'll give you a hint. And I said because nobody's touring his house anymore.
Elvis?
Yes.
I was thinking Elvis too.
Okay, so we had that conversation. I said, in his stuff. I said when his stuff starts to go up on the auction block, I know Elvis fans are going to send me hate mail. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to discount anything that Elvis has done by any means. So don't take that wrong. I'm just saying that era and that time I think has come and gone, and it's not going to fetch the money that it once would in previous times.
No, but I think some of those cars could be valuable in their own right. Be disconnected from Elvis just because of the kind of cars and the age and the condition.
I don't disagree with you, but some of the stuff, Elvis drove this this 63 Pinto, I'm making up years and cars, but I'm just, where people put that and say that and whatever it may be. And I want $1 million. It's worth $1 million because he drove it. Okay,
nah.
You understand?
Yeah, I do.
And I'm like,
no, not for me.
And I'm like, well, maybe back in the days, way back when, when he was in his heydays, you might have fetched a pretty dollar for anything he touched, drove, or was associated with. But those days have come and gone, and people are like, no, it's Elvis. It's Elvis. It's Elvis.
Well, you remember how popular Roy Rogers was.
Yes, absolutely.
And now they've closed, his son has closed the museum out there in California because nobody remembers who Roy Rogers is anymore. That's been so long.
Well, they don't have a...
You know,
there you go.
Yeah, you don't know who Roy Rogers is.
All right, well, just, okay, so...
Or Dale Evans.
I think you and I had the conversation a while back, Liberace, okay? So they had a museum for him and had a bunch of his cars in the museum out in Vegas. And I went through it many times because I'm a car guy, and I would walk through it. I don't think I ever paid not one time to walk through that museum. I don't even know if it was a cost or whatever, but I went to that museum many times just to look at the cars because I was just fascinated by the cars. Even though they were over the top in what some may seem very gaudy, they were still cool to me just by the way that they had did the things they did to these cars and stuff like that. I was just amazed by it, okay? That time has come and gone, obviously. And those cars won't fetch the money that they probably could have fetched back in the day. My point coming around to it is so Elvis's golf cart went up for auction.
Yeah.
Not one single bid on it.
Nobody bid on it.
No.
What were they asking? Do you know?
I don't know what I don't know what they were trying to sell it for or what they were asking for it, but it didn't fetch one bid. And I thought about that. I went and it reverted back to the conversation we were having a while back. I was like, I remember us having this conversation. I said, "There's going to come a point in time where people are just going to go, okay, that time has come and gone. I'm just not. Yeah, I don't care who touched it and who drove it because it's come and gone."
After he's been dead for 100 years, then they'll have some big liquidation sale and be done with it.
Well, here's the thing: if you buy that and you have it sitting in your garage, here's what's happening. Me being a car guy and me having the space to store stuff like that now with the mega garage. If my friends walked into my garage and it's sitting in the corner was a golf cart that was driven by somebody famous, it doesn't even have to be Elvis Presley, anybody, and I go, "Hey, check that out, man! I just picked that up at auction," Dingling Johnson drove this. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, right? Where's the beer? Beer fridge over here?" You know what I mean? That's what would happen.
Yeah, and who cares? More?
Right, and I spent $250,000 on it. They may sit on it for 2 seconds, touch it, and then ask me where the beer fridge is. That would be the highlight of my $250,000 I spent on it. Because let's be honest, that's the only reason why you're buying it.
Yeah, bragging rights.
It's bragging rights, and it doesn't hold $250,000 bragging right for it.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I mean?
See, that's when you go, well, what you don't know is the beer's underneath the golf cart seat.
I was just getting ready to say, I was like, well, it's funny you asked because that is the beer fridge. Well, that's about the only way it's ever going to get attention. Well, it's funny you asked.
Man, we think the
this
same.
This was so and so's golf cart, and I chopped it up and turned it into the beer fridge. That's about the only way it's ever going to get any attention. That's my kid when he has the same idea I have. Funny you say so. I chopped it up, hung it on the wall, and turned it into the beer fridge for $250,000.
Could have done a lot cheaper, but it's brand new off the wall.
I'm just
Golf
saying.
cart.
Look, I even had him autograph it. It's right there. See that signature?
Got a little EP
the handle's right next to it to open up the beer fridge. How do you open this thing? Right next to the signature.
Right next to the signature.
No, seriously, I'm not.
I get it. It's hey. I mean, I'm terrified that sooner or later anything by the Beatles will be worthless. But at least two of them are still alive. So.
Well, I told you
that's Michael Jackson, right? Yeah, I'm about to say that's Michael Jackson.
Beetle.
What's that?
I told you about the extra Beetle. Just look on the album cover. There's an extra Beetle.
On which album cover?
Well, the one where they're walking across the street.
There's an extra Beetle. Oh, the guy over in the corner, over on the side of the road by the car.
No, there's an extra Beetle in there.
Oh, the car.
It's a car show. Where'd you think the extra Beetle was?
And the license plate on that car says LMW. If
my question
28.
is,
okay.
My question is, how the hell? I mean, how do you remember the license plate but don't remember the car?
Because there was a big thing about Paul McCartney being dead, and the whole thing. They had to stage it, but the license plate MW28F.
I'm like,
Lennon. It was stood
he's
for,
over here talking about the Beetle of the car, and you're like,
what does it stand for? I'm curious.
It stood for Lennon Murdered Walrus. He'd be 28 if alive.
Oh, come on now. That's a stretch. Hey, here's not a stretch, just so you guys know. The Bullet Mustang, the car, sold for $3,400,000 at auction.
what?
Yeah, think about that when you guys are
A little more than I got.
out looking for a new car. On that note, guys, it is that time. It is the end of the show. Hey, it is Saturday, just in case you forgot what day it is. It's still nice out there. Temperature's good. Try to enjoy your day. If you get a chance, they are having the new car show over there at the Convention Center in Virginia Beach. You guys can go check that out. Also, enjoy your Sunday. It's right around the corner. Make sure you turn off your TV. Spend some time with your kids. They'll love you for it. We're out of here, and I'll talk to you soon.